We're here at another booth. We're here at a card game booth called Stoneblade. I'm here with the developer of the Stoneblade. Introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the game.
Yeah, so my name's Justin Gary. I've been working on games like Ascension. I did the Marvel and DC trading card games back in the day, and I partnered up with someone you may have heard of, Richard Garfield, the creator of Magic the Gathering, to create SoulForge Fusion, the world's first hybrid deck game.
What can you tell us a little bit about the game, since it may be new to some, but especially for me, I've never really been in well, the card game scene has been not something I've been into,
Sure.
but I've always been interested in some way. But so something you could tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, so we try to take the best of both worlds, right? The traditional board game, tabletop gaming space, and the digital gaming space. So what we've done is we've used new technology so that every single deck you buy in one of these starter packs is unique. They're algorithmically generated, so they're only one of the kind in the entire world. You shuffle any two decks together to play, so you don't need to worry about chasing rares or trying to collect the best deck. Any two decks together will play and allow you to play the game. Your unique characters are your Forgeborn, tells you what your powers are, tells you what cards come in the game, and it comes with a QR code, which you can scan to get your deck into this online game that you see behind me. So you can actually play the game as a tabletop card game or as a digital game, all with the exact same collection. You don't have to rebuy anything, and it's the only game in the world that plays like this.
So there's no rare cards that say because most card games, there'll be the very rare cards that'll be resale value. There's nothing of that, or at least as of now.
So there are, obviously there's some cards that are more rare than others. There's over 20,000 unique possible cards you can get because we algorithmically generate the cards. There are more deck permutations than atoms in the universe. So instead of being I'm going to try to collect all these cards and build a custom deck, you're just going to collect these decks and then shuffle any two together to play. And so the idea is that the algorithm makes it so that all the decks are decent and playable right out of the gate. And so you don't have to worry about, if you just buy one starter, that's enough for two people to play. If you download the digital app, which is going to be available next month, or you can download a demo right now, you can play just right out of the gates. You don't have to worry about it, but you can still have that fun of exploring and discovering new decks by opening new packs and seeing new things that show up.
What inspired you to get into the card gaming scene, since especially a game like this where it's a mix of both tabletop and digital, which not a lot of card games kind of have been in there, especially the big ones.
Oh, well, so to go kind of back in my history, so I started off as a pro Magic player. I was the youngest U.S. national champion at the age of 17. That's how I paid my way through college. Eventually that led me to meeting Richard and being able to work on a project. The original version of SoulForge was a pure digital card game only. It was the first of its kind to be on mobile, and I always just love to push the boundaries of what's possible in gaming. So I brought my deck building game that I designed, Ascension. It's available in VR. We were the first game to go to mobile. This is the first game that has a digitally printed one-of-a-kind decks that can be scanned into an online account and played online. I always want to see I love playing games. I love the fun of sitting around a tabletop, but I can't always get my friends together to play. So sometimes I want to be able to play online. And we're also able to do things that you can't do anywhere else. So for example, in SoulForge Fusion, when you play the app, you can actually take your custom one-of-a-kind deck and go into an algorithmically generated campaign and battle monsters and level up your deck and get cool upgrades. And that's something you obviously couldn't do in tabletop. So for me, it's about providing the most fun that I can to players, thinking of myself as a player and being able to let you play the game how you want to play, where you want to play, and when you want to play.
What's something that you would say is say for people who are new to it, what's some advice you would give to those players to if they want to try and get into it?
Yeah, so basically if you just search for SoulForge Fusion on Steam, you can download the demo right now. You can play it and try it. There's a tutorial that will walk you through it. It's very, very simple to play, right? The idea is every turn you draw 5 cards, you can play any card in your hand, and every card you play actually levels up when you play it. And every 3 turns, your deck will reshuffle and give you access to higher level cards. So you don't have to worry about anything other than just play the cards out of your hand and see what happens. As you play, you'll start to see the strategy that comes in for, okay, maybe I want to level a different card this time because my opponent's playing a certain way, or maybe I want to be playing for a quick game to try to beat them before their leveled up cards come into play. But for someone that's new, it's just really just try the game, walk through the tutorial. It's totally free. There's no reason not to try it, and then you can see from there how much the game can expand, and it can be a really fun way for you to play with your friends, or even just hanging out by yourself playing through the campaign.
What would you say would since this is a unique way that some people can play games, and it's something out of the ordinary, even though it has had its rise, and it still is on the rise as of late, what is something that you would say what is some inspiration you could probably get to players that maybe, or people that maybe want to try to make games like these, or even like, you know, spread the word to like make people play it more and more?
Okay, I'm very passionate about this topic. So I have written a book called Think Like a Game Designer, and I have a podcast called Think Like a Game Designer, which is totally free for anybody that wants to do it. I also write articles. Just search Justin Gary Designs, and they are all designed to make your path to doing creative work and to making games easier than mine was. I had to learn everything the hard way. I started off on a very different path. I went to law school, I was miserable, and I realized that giving up on the thing that society thought I was supposed to do and being able to take the time to learn and do something that I'm really passionate about and really like makes me come alive, that makes the world a better place, has changed everything about my life. So it's actually my mission in life to help other people to become easier about it. So there's tons of free content. You can just search for Think Like a Game Designer, search for Justin Gary Designs. There's tons of free content I put out there. But just if I'm going to give you one piece of advice, it's do the work to make, like, put yourself out there. Try, make prototypes. Get rejected, because your first ideas are not going to work. Cannot tell you how many versions of SoulForge I had to make that were terrible before I was finally able to get to this one. I spent years and years and years bringing it together. And so it takes some willingness to try and fail, and then learn from that failure to then get better and go and find a community of people that support you, find other people that are around it. Again, our Discord and our communities are like that. So you can go to the Stoneblade Discord. We have a game design channel. I will personally answer your game design questions there. So I really try to help build that environment for people. And if it's something you're thinking about, just start doing it. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for somebody else. Start making terrible games so that you can learn and then make some great games down the road.
All right, that's pretty much all the questions I have. You have the floor if you want to advertise anything, or if there's maybe more projects on the way that we might not know of.
Yeah, so I do have a lot of projects on the way. Again, I just encourage anybody that wants to go to stoneblade.com. You can see all our games. If you're familiar with my deck building game Ascension, we have a new crowdfund coming for a brand new version of that game. And, you know, again, just if you join the Discord, join us on stoneblade.com. You can find out all the cool news. You can reach out about your own projects. We have a really fun community of people who love making games, loves playing games. So I'd love for anybody out there to come be a part of it. And of course, for SoulForge Fusion, you can just download it for free right now to play the demo and tell me what you think.
Thank you so much for your time.